Republican Senator Jon Kyl is a supporter of the Arizona immigration law. He is in Phoenix this morning. We thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Harry.
Governor Brewer, your governor there in Arizona, has vowed to fight this court decision all the way to the Supreme Court. Is it realistic to think that the Arizona immigration law will prevail in the end?
I think it should. I think the court's decision was wrong. The governor and legislative leaders have talked about possibly tweaking, to use their phrase, the law to see if they can obviate the concerns the judge expressed. I don't think they can because her decision was very sweeping. I think it more likely that Congress could act to actually fix the problem, both by reaffirming that it is Congress's intent that the law be enforced, rather than having the administration decide that they don't want to thoroughly enforce the law, and therefore that the state's intention to do so would run counter to their policies.
Right.
And also to provide some more resources. The bulk of her decision rests on the proposition that the checking that would be done on status.
It's too difficult to enforce,
Yeah, that there are 152 people in the unit that does that, and that this would overwhelm them. The obvious answer is then hire a few more people.
Arizona is not alone. There are many other states who are trying to pass similar legislation. From your perspective, what is the greatest threat posed by illegal immigrants?
Well, first of all, the philosophical problem is that if you reward illegal behavior, you're going to get more of it. We are a nation of laws, and we should be enforcing the law, whatever it is. But as a practical matter, during the times that we have right now, where there is a lot of unemployment, illegal immigrants can take jobs that Americans are willing to do. Illegal immigrants pose a real burden on the states financially, who must provide education to the children, who must provide medical care, and who do provide a great many benefits, including various kinds of welfare benefits. To me, though, the most important thing is the crime associated with it, not necessarily committed by illegal immigrants, but committed on illegal immigrants, as well as the roughly 15% of the people who cross the border each year illegally who are criminals.
Because one of the things that's come to light over the last couple of weeks is in some of these border towns that were thought to be susceptible to law-breaking of illegal immigrants, the crime is actually down. Crime in Phoenix, for instance, is down significantly over the last couple of years.
Well, that's a gross generalization. Property crimes are up. Certain violent crimes on certain parts of the citizenry are up. Phoenix is a very large source of kidnapping. It's called the kidnapping capital of the United States because the illegal immigrants who are brought to Phoenix for distribution throughout the country are held in drop houses, and they are mistreated, horribly treated. They are held for ransom for their families back in Mexico or El Salvador or wherever to send more money, or they won't be released, and so on. So there's a great deal of violence and crime associated with the presence of illegal immigrants.
There is a movement afoot to rescind the law that makes anyone born in the United States a U.S. citizen, specifically aimed at the children of illegal immigrants. Do you support that?
Well, actually, there is a constitutional provision in the 14th Amendment that has been interpreted to provide that if you are born in the United States, you are a citizen no matter what. Now, there are limitations on that, for example, for the children of diplomats and so on. And so the question is, if both parents are here illegally, should there be a reward for their illegal behavior? And what I suggested to my colleague Lindsey Graham from South Carolina suggested that we pursue that, and what I suggested to him was that we should hold some hearings and hear first from the constitutional experts to at least tell us what the state of the law on that proposition is.
So much of this goes back to the absence of what would be a comprehensive immigration legislation. Do you see that actually coming to pass anytime in the next year?
Harry, not until the border is secure. I don't think the American people want that until the border is secure. And as a result, I was very disturbed to see a memorandum that's being circulated within the Department of Homeland Security, written by 4 lawyers on the staff of the unit in charge, basically talking about non-legislative ways to achieve amnesty. And for 11 pages, they go on and on about how they can redefine terms. They can, by rule and regulation, achieve the same thing that amnesty would achieve for vast swaths of the illegal population here. That's the kind of thing that the American people don't like. They want enforcement of the laws, not bureaucrats trying to figure out a way around the law.
And is amnesty, in the end, the bugaboo, is the thing that that neither Republicans or Democrats or even state legislators, is that the one thing that will never be agreed upon?
It all depends on how you define the term, but no, nobody likes the term amnesty, but the pro-immigration folks do want to see at the end of the day a way that all of the illegal people here can find a way to become citizens. And there are different degrees of what they would have to do to try to achieve that. That was part of the immigration reform of 3 years ago. But as I said, until the American people believe that the federal government really intends to enforce the laws against people being here illegally, I don't think that the political will be there in Congress to consider comprehensive reform.
And very quickly, finally, bills like the Arizona laws and others are perceived, at least in some communities, or many communities, thought to be anti-Hispanic. Could that cost Republicans? Could this come at a political price?
Well, there may be some, and I'm sure there's some who try to take political advantage of any situation, but if you live here in Arizona, you appreciate the fact that we have a great tradition, particularly with our neighbor to the south, Mexico, and it's not a matter of being anti-Hispanic, it's a matter of wanting to enforce the law.
Senator Jon Kyl, we thank you for your time this morning. Do appreciate it.
Thank you, Harry.
Right now.